What, you want me to go vote for a Democrat? Not happening. Democrat already even started.
He's a felon, bro. He a felon.
The COVID thing was BS.
You're born a guy, you're a guy. You're born a girl, you're a girl. You can never be the opposite.
Yo, happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy, Christian. That's what my mama named me, but everybody calls me Pan. Welcome to the show. Everybody give my boy Snoochie Boochies, a.k.a. Ryan Martin, a round of applause. Man, I appreciate you for joining the show today, Ryan. Ryan, where are you streaming from?
In the middle of nowhere, West Texas, Midland, Odessa area, on some random lease roads.
Midland, Odessa area. It's kind of ironic as we're going to be talking about the state of America. Those of you who don't know Ryan Snoochie Boochies Martin, Ryan is Facebook's favorite commenter and troll. Ryan definitely get you in a riveting conversation. He's definitely trying to find out if you are smarter than the fifth grade at all times. And today I want to talk to my friend because we are less than 100 days away from the midterm election. And Ryan is my favorite right-leaning person, and I think he has a wonderful perspective on America and, where things are going, even though we don't agree all the time. So today, I want to hear from the other side of the coin, hear about what you think about what's going to happen in the midterms. I think that the Democrats are going to kick ass, but that's neither here nor there. But, that's what we got going on. Ryan, you want to, you've been here before, but, you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Well, we've grown up, met each other in high school, both military kids, come from a very diverse background. Like I said, I have mom from California, dad from Texas, conservative, liberal, military upbringing. Like I said, I appreciate you because you have a diverse background and you're open to listen to the other side. That's where I come from, the same as well. So I'm open to have my mind changed for sure.
Man, you just described yourself as a conservative liberal. How does that work?
I do. Well, I think everybody in this United States should be conservative and liberal. They have to have a little bit of both. No one is going to be right 100% of the time. So you got to be able to go across party lines, be able to find ways to make this country successful for everyone. And you can't do it just being one side or the other.
I don't know. I don't know if I would label myself conservative or liberal, but I do hold both of those views. I mean, it's quite ironic right now. We're talking about the state of America. I particularly want to know your thoughts on, as I guess, would you identify yourself? You would identify yourself as a Republican, yeah? Because you're not a Democrat, for sure. As much as you text me about what the Democrats are doing, you're not a Democrat.
I'm not a Democrat. I consider myself conservative. Yes, we're a country that's a two-party system. You have to identify. Well, you could be in the middle, but you're basically moot point. Don't want to hear anything about you when it comes to well, it's not doing that because you're just cherry picking on what you want. Like I pick one side. Obviously, I don't agree with everything on the conservative side. I don't agree with everything on the Democrat side. I'm not going to be an independent.
Being an independent is pretty useless. I mean, but as long as they use their vote, I don't necessarily have a problem with it.
Absolutely. Everybody should vote, no matter what.
I mean, so starting off, what I want to ask is, as somebody, right? Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes.
So, as somebody who voted for Donald Trump, do you still support Donald Trump? And if you do still support Donald Trump, why?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's a bunch of different variables that go into it, but overall, I do support Donald Trump. Do I support everything he's done in his administration? Absolutely not. Do I disagree with a lot wholeheartedly the things that he does and or says? Absolutely. Do I agree with the left, the Democrats, when they say he says outlandish, ridiculous, ignorant things? Absolutely. But does he get things done? Yes. Does he get everything he promised done? No, because he's the president. We live in a country that has checks and balances. So Congress has overriding powers, still the Supreme Court. So he tries his best with executive orders, etc. Sometimes they go through and they become successful, like on the H-1Bs, border security, etc. But then sometimes, like the Save America vote, most of America wants to see it pass, but then you have Congress, even his own side, the rhinos, holding it up. It should be an easy pass, but even his own team, its own side, Republicans are holding. So
why do you feel as though, and we could talk about the birthright citizenship thing, but why do you feel as though that you already have to have an ID to vote. Like you already have to have an ID. So why is this why do you feel as though right now, right? Like Do you feel as though this is necessary, like to save democracy? Like, I mean, what is it?
I mean, we're the only like modern Western civilization country that doesn't require ID to vote. I
You
mean,
do need an
you-
ID to vote, though. But
not
you
in every
do
state.
need
No,
an
California, in some cities in California, like San Diego specifically, it's you'll get prosecuted if you work at the voting poll and ask someone for ID. You will be prosecuted.
You will be prosecuted.
You will be prosecuted. It's against the rules, against the law to ask somebody for their ID
So
because it's
how
not legal. And there's multiple states throughout the United States, multiple states that have the same exact thing. Let alone there's states that have, hey, you can show up with your gym membership card and vote. In California, that is something you can do. You can show up with a gym membership card, no photo on it. Just says like, all right, cool. You
no
can
photo
and
on it?
I'm saying there's voter ID. Even New Jersey just came out a couple weeks ago. You saw that like 6,000 that the state is actually confessing to, that illegal immigrants that or people that were not allowed to vote were actually registered to vote, and a couple hundred of them actually did end up voting. And they go back to like, well, it doesn't happen that often, and oh, when it does happen, like it's not that big of a deal. At first, the Democrats were saying, oh, it does not happen, it's not an issue, and then now all of a sudden things are coming out. Donald Trump had that new press conference about it, which mainstream media wanted to silence it, which was ridiculous. And then eventually New Jersey came out and wanted to get ahead of it. They're like, oh, we accidentally automatically registered 6,000 people that weren't supposed to be, were not legally able to vote, and some of them voted. And like you said, like there's some states during the last election that came down to 10,000 votes. I mean, a couple of hundred votes in certain states. So it's a huge deal. It matters. And when the majority of America wants the SAVE Act to pass, both on the left and on the right, it should be an easy pass.
Who said the majority of America wants this to pass?
The CNN polls.
The CNN poll said that?
And I'm going off a liberal mainstream media. They show up there. There's no demographic that's under 50%. There's no demographic that's under 50%. And the majority overall is America is like an 83%.
I don't know anyone who even gives a damn but you. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's fair.
I don't know. I don't know anyone.
But in my defense,
who gives a damn about this but you and Donald Trump? No one.
In my defense,
yes.
When we spoke about, remember that a couple weeks ago, we were speaking on the phone, and I talked to you about that Billie Eilish thing. It says nobody's illegal on stolen land, and you had never heard of that.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
That time, I said that is a major across every social media platform hashtag, and every celebrity knows about every.
That's happening in like white culture. Like we do talk about like the difference, like because we got algorithms, right? Like I don't listen to Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish wouldn't be anywhere in like my circumference of like thought or like everyday life. So I wouldn't know anything Billie Eilish was talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like at all. I don't even know where I would notice that. Right? You know what I mean? But the majority, like, you know, as far as everybody I've spoken to, right? Every political person I've spoken to, like, you know, like you and the people on TV are the only ones who are like, yo, they're stealing votes. Like I've never, right? Like, you know, just the Republicans, right? Like, and it's like, yo, they stealing votes. Now, mind you, as a Democrat, I've never thought like, you know, they all cheat. Don't get me wrong, right? Let's be real, right? Like they cheat, like they cheated. Bernie Sanders got cheated, right? Like they cheat, right? Like it don't matter who it is, people cheat. Like that's politics, right? Like, but at the same time, to say like a couple hundred people got to vote and it's like a huge deal, like that's not like it's not a huge deal.
That's in one state. That's in one area in one state, and that's only a person that came out and admitted themselves. Let alone,
can we be real?
And a lot of the Democrat states don't want to be investigated. Don't want to show their voter rolls. And so, when you think that small,
can we be real? Georgia's a Republican state. Georgia is where Donald Trump was like, yo, go find me however many votes. Georgia's a Republican state. Like the places where like there are.
Did you follow the 2020 vote in Georgia and with the whole pipe burst and then blocking out and stopping the votes at a certain time, and all of a sudden more duffel bags came in and people were voting after they sent home the people that were supervising the votes?
What about what just happened in Dallas?
What happened in Dallas?
Like they like had all this confusion about like, you know, voting and stuff like that. Like there were voter polls that got shut down and people weren't able to vote. Like that affected Democrats, right? So like what I'm saying is Like
But
there
that
are
happens every election. It happened in Maricopa County, which is a huge city in Arizona and Phoenix area during the 2020 and 2024.
every election, and Donald Trump, because he is trying to save the thin margins in the House and in the Senate, is trying to pull out every stop to be able to get more Republican representation, from gerrymandering to the Save America Act, to be able to try and like slim the margins. Like, let's be real, this ain't got nothing to do with America. This has nothing to do with America. Like, do you genuinely think that they actually care about us? They wasted thousands of dollars, millions of dollars yesterday with this sham of a hearing yesterday or day before with Anthony Fauci pleading the fifth for 3 hours, wasting everybody's time. You really think they give a damn about us? They're not worried about us. They're not worried about the local governments like Donald Trump and the Trump administration. Like, and I want to go back to you saying they did some good stuff. I don't know what good stuff they did when there's people out here eating lettuce and catching diarrhea because there's nobody to inspect the lettuce. Like, let's just, figure that out. Thought you said you was on Wi-Fi. Ryan is in the middle of nowhere right now, and he said he was on Wi-Fi. And he is not on Wi-Fi, as you all can see. And I'm going to chastise him. Oh no, the banner at the bottom. Brandon is not on right now today.
You back on it?
That was you. You left. I don't even remember what I was saying. Like, what was the last thing you heard?
They don't care about us, food regulations, etc.
Oh yes, the lettuce. Like, right? Like, so I mean, yeah, you said Donald Trump. Like,
Our entire lifetime, we've had regulation issues with constantly over every president. It happens. Now, I'm not saying it's good. I mean, there definitely needs to be some recourse about that. I mean, but it's not to say, oh, Donald Trump is president, so now we have these breakouts of food. It happens all the time.
I mean, like,
the causation doesn't equal correlation. Like,
in our lifetime, when was the last time this happened with the lettuce? I remember the chicken was pretty bad once.
What?
Like, I'm saying, like,
you say, like, it feels like it happens every year. It's FDA in general. It's always been a big issue. The spinach, the lettuce, Taco Bell. I think Taco Bell's been a culprit of it with lettuce a handful of times over the last few years.
Let's see.
My sister messaged me whenever this recall of all food. It happens all the time. It happens throughout every administration. It's an issue because our American food. We can't blame the president really per se for every issue.
I don't necessarily.
It's our FDA department. It's the big Pfizer companies that own big percentages in food companies. Like, you have big pharma owning big food companies. They're working hand in hand. I'm not a conspiracy theorist per se, but it's not ideal. So
you don't think that it has anything to do with the fact that there are less people to do the jobs?
No, I think that probably plays it's a variable. It plays a role. I'm not saying absolutely zero accountability for that. But let's play call balls and strikes. Same thing under Biden. That guarantee it happened under Biden. Guarantee it happened under Obama. Guarantee it happened under Bush. So when you say if there was no outbreaks under any of those other presidents, then you could clearly say adamantly, oh, because he pulled back on the personnel, it's his fault. Then I would 100% agree with you.
So the lettuce, the screwworm, the
war.
Specific
worm. Yeah, this specific worm. The war. Keep going.
So the lettuce, the worm, the war, the gas, the non-movement of anything to actually affect change on the American people, because no one wants his Save America Act thing. But you're saying that it is just the rhinos, but Democrats want it too, though. But I'm not hearing any Democrats talk about wanting this Save America Act.
Democrat leaders, no. I mean, your normal everyday Democrat that you're going to run across, they're not going to. I mean, your more traditional Democrats, yes. The more Democrats of today are too far left, and they're not going to be on board with that because they have suicidal empathy. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago about the pathway to citizenship, and you agreed with me. Came across and like, all right, this is their step. I told you it's a long game. They want more people within, more votes in the census, and more people they can pick up at the census in California, etc. It's a long-term game. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. So
even if the pathway to citizenship thing is a long-term game, like the Republican Party is literally doing the exact same thing. Like with this whole, oh my God, like we got to make sure that everybody has we got to pass the Save America Act because our democracy is at stake. Even though, which is the total opposite of what the pathway to citizenship. It's to eliminate votes and make sure that your and my vote count, because if there's an illegal or anybody who's not, it doesn't even have to be illegal, but anybody who's not
qualified or eligible to vote that votes immediately cancels out your vote, my vote. For every one person that's not eligible to vote, one. I mean, technically, yes. The math, yes. If 500 people that are eligible to vote, and 500 people that don't, and they vote the opposite, you cancel each other out automatically. So technically, your voice is not heard.
In every place where there are votes cast, let's say that there were 12 people who were not eligible to vote that vote out of thousands of votes. Those 12 votes
counted out 12 other people, true Americans that were supposed to, their voices should have been heard.
Get out of here.
Whether it's just one person or a million people, securing your elections is the most important thing. It's the most integral part of to be an American. It's your civic duty to vote. And then for the Democrat side to be like, well, let's just let anybody and everybody in, and then we'll give them pathway to citizenship and let them vote. It's a slap in the face to every natural-born American.
Why?
And every legal immigrant that's came here and love America and love to vote. It's a slap in their face.
Why hasn't this been a problem anytime else? Why is this such an issue now? Like that Donald Trump is the president. Why wasn't this such an issue when Ronald Reagan was the president, when George Bush was the president, when George Bush daddy was the president? Why is it such a pressing thing now under this regime of Republican leadership?
Well, I mean, we just had 4 years of the most radical president leadership, because Biden wasn't really the president. He didn't really do anything. It's thing he Brett did. So we had the most radical administration of all time, 4 years, letting in upwards, lower end, 12 million illegals in at one time, open border. We had a vice president who couldn't fight her way out of a paper bag, just letting the world our nation that we were proud to be American, be flooded in. And they want to do the pathway to citizenship. They slapped Americans in the face and said, hey, we're not doing exactly what the Republicans are telling you that we're doing, as they were doing it. And then 12 million, imagine 12 million, low end, 12 million at 3 million a year, 12 million illegals coming in. That's a massive, when you think about how many votes, the slim margins between Trump and Kamala Harris in each state, do you think 12 million, boom. That's why voter security is so big, because what if the Democrats get in and give them amnesty, like the pathway to citizenship, the Republicans will never win another election again.
You think people actually want? So you think the slim margins is because there was illegal people voting, and not just because people didn't want Donald Trump to be the president?
No, not at all. No one said that. I said that when the illegals come in, and what the Democrats have already said, pathway to citizenship, amnesty, all the leaders are calling for it. And if they get hold of the Congress and they get presidency again, they're going to give amnesty. They're going to give a pathway to citizenship. Which you mean 12 million plus illegals? 12 million plus illegals. Remember the housing we gave you, those debit cards we gave you? You know, you haven't been having to work, and we're giving you Medicaid, Medi-Cal in California. Go ahead and vote for us. You know, the free stuff we gave you. And then the Republicans never win again.
So before these 4 years where, these 12 million people came here, this had never been an issue before. This is what you're saying.
We never had a president dumb enough to just open the border and let 12 million people.
History period. People have been coming here illegally since independence.
Yes, understandable, but not as blatantly saying, hey, our border's open. A vice president say, hey, come, we're calling for you to come here. And hey, we're going to incentivize it by putting you in hotels in New York and flying you all over the states, giving you vouchers, giving you debit cards, giving you health care, giving you American benefits.
That has literally
brother.
That has literally been happening the entire time America has been a country.
Yeah, and we've constantly been fighting it.
Have we constantly?
We have. Even Obama was fighting it. Obama didn't deport 303 million people, but he stopped them from crossing the border. Some of them, and they did their CNN videos from back in the day, them doing ICE raids in all the cities, and CNN even going on the raids with them and showing how important this job is under the Obama administration. It's just now that Trump is doing it, Trump is bad. So everything that is going on under Trump that went under Obama, now it's bad under Trump and it was good under Obama. Like, you can't have it. You got to call on strikes. You got to have it. You got to have it both ways. You can't just have your cake and eat it and be like, oh, Trump is bad, so it's bad now. And it wasn't bad back then.
I'm not necessarily saying that because Trump is doing it now that it's bad. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, right, like, we're going back to the Save America Act and it being so important that we safeguard the integrity of our elections, right?
Yeah. And let me say something. It's so important. It's such an extreme with the Save America Act now, because the last 4 years under Biden was such an extreme of the flooding and the giving away of benefits and blatantly in front of Americans' eyes. And the leadership lying about it.
So
when we can clearly see it.
okay.
You have to have an extreme change.
So with the Save America, so the Save America Act is in response to the Democrats' plan, right, to bring illegal immigrants in, give them amnesty so that they can inflate the number of voters so that they can flip the House and the Senate so Democrats can have control and the Republican will never be voted in again.
Essentially, that's part of the game. That's part of the long-term game.
So right.
Both sides want power.
And so on the flip side, the Republicans, right, are shrinking the margins overall across the entire diaspora of voters who may vote Democrat, whether they be liberal Democrats, conservative Democrats, or moderate Democrats, wherever you are on the spectrum in the diaspora of Democrats, by gerrymandering predominantly black congressional districts and making them non-existent across the South, where there's another red wave looking to take place if the Republicans can get it together, because they are shaving the margins and also being able to knock people off the voter rolls, going to places like Georgia to be able to try to pressure the Republican leadership to be able to kick people off the voter rolls so they can have the margins to be able to keep state and local control and be able to have a trifecta where they control the federal, state, and local governments.
What do you mean by them kicking people off the vote roll? Just like, hey, I want these people kicked off the money.
Well, I mean,
but there's got to be a reasoning behind it. Well, they're not eligible.
I mean, everybody is eligible. Everybody is susceptible to being kicked out the voter rolls. If it's based off of how they determine, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be an accident. You could just go to the polls. People, it happens all the time. People who are completely eligible to vote get kicked off the voter rolls just based off of them being purged. So they're constantly telling people to please check your voter registration because they are constantly purging people off of the voter rolls.
Because they're purging them because of inconsistencies with the registration, signatures, etc. Things are not filled out correctly, addresses changing, etc. So yeah, as American citizens, it's our duty to keep up with our voter registration. If you move, you get a new address, etc., or new driver's license, keep it up. You get married, keep up with it. It's your responsibility. And so if you have XYZ things changing your life, and then you go on the day to vote, and you're like, oh, they're trying to steal my vote. No, you're just lazy. You didn't do what you're supposed to do.
So
sorry, you can't wait to the day of.
People who have been purged who did not have those issues, bro.
There's accidents happening all across the board. This is done by computers and people.
There's accidents happening. No,
but it's not happening. It's not happening. It would be one thing if only Democrats were getting kicked off, but it's not happening.
The thing is, it's a lot of people, marginalized people. I'm gonna use the politically correct words. Marginalized people and elderly people who are falling victim to this, especially people who are very transient, right? Who are falling victim to this. Because you can vote if you don't have a home, bro. You can vote if you don't have a home. So they don't get to just kick you off the voter rolls because they think your address changed or whatever the case may be. There has to be.
We saw that in California. It was like 40,000 homeless people voted for Nitya Rama. California, they paid them cigarettes and cash to register to vote. On video.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how the Democrats did.
No, they're that's a tactic. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's physically impossible for all those. Did you watch the LA votes for the mayor and how they came in, and all the votes at the last couple of rounds came in specifically for the third place person, even over the number one Karen Bass, to move her up just enough to get in second place to knock out the Spencer Pratt guy. Everybody in the world knows that they stole that election.
So look, what in LA?
Yeah, the mayor, Spencer Pratt, Nitya Raman, and Karen Bass. Nitya Raman she was third place. Nobody really cared about her. And the first few batches of voters, she was third place, every single one. And the last 3 or 4 loads of votes that came in, she was in first place, even over Karen Bass. And every single one of them got just enough votes to pass Spencer Pratt the last month. But it was a sham. And then there's videos of them going downtown, paying cigarettes and cash to get homeless people to vote, basically paying for votes. So we know it's happening.
Yeah, I'm not putting that past nobody. I'm not putting that past anybody. That happens. That's a tactic.
And that's those little things. That's why Save America Vote is very crucial.
Bro,
In
those
California,
homeless people are Americans, bro. They just homeless Americans. But the Save America Act is not doing anything to that. Like, because
you can't go out and buy votes.
Bro, the federal government, like states get to decide how states run their elections. The federal government don't do that. Like, that's why
I understand that.
Don't do that. States run their governments. Like,
I know, but we're trying to do it on the federal level because states like California take upwards to like 9 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months after the election. When states like Florida can count their votes and tally them up the same exact day. We live in America.
Cheat.
We live in America in 2026 and we can't count our votes on the same day.
So Florida don't cheat?
I can't say that indiscriminately. Like, I can't say 100% indefinitely they don't cheat. But when you take X amount of time, 90 days after your vote, and things are shady as heck, and then you want to say anybody who questions our elections, we're going to sue you guys. Like, come on, guys. Nobody trusts California. California is a fallen state. Nobody trusts that place. Everybody's moving away from that. This is
the Trump administration.
Why do nobody trust the Trump administration?
What I would like for you to enlighten me, right? Because I want to know why Republicans are so like gung ho about they might be able to win the midterms. Like, I don't see anything positive coming out of this, especially for the American people to be like, yeah, I am I'm supportive of the way the government is working right now. I don't see that. I don't see these things falling in the Republicans' favor at all.
No, I definitely. I agree with you on that aspect when it comes to outside looking, it looks bad. Everything looks bad right now, especially. But when you saw Trump come in initially, we put the policies in place. We saw inflation drop. We saw the job growth go up. We saw gas go to sub $2. I was in Kansas at the end of last year before the Iran war hit. It was like $1.98. So we saw the policies and the change shift, and things start to go right.
When the unemployment go down, bro, people have been. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't where are you seeing this? Like, on the news? Because regular people can't find jobs. Like, it's taking people months and months and months and months and months to find a job, bro. Like,
what kind of job are they looking for?
These people have degrees. They try.
It's a bad job. It's a bad job market for a lot of people that came through degrees. I mean, over 40%. Over 40% of people that get degrees go into the job field that they don't even do a degree in.
You just said unemployment dropped. So unemployment in what?
Overall.
But for who? Where did you?
Normal people don't need it. It don't have to be college grads. Look at the jobs. The jobs reports.
Where?
The job reports.
So you don't think they lie?
Huh?
You don't think they lie?
Well, then if you think everybody lies, then everything will be a lie. You can't trust anything.
Most things that the government put up is a lie. Most of the stuff is a lie. Most of it is a lie, or it's biased to be able to spin a specific narrative. But if you talk to everyday people, especially people who are looking for a job, it's taking them forever to find a job. And if you spent 4 years learning to be, whatever, and you go out into the world and you can't find a job because
what are they spending 4 years looking to be?
Whatever it is, bro.
Because I would say at least 90%. I am one of those people, and they got a BS degree that doesn't translate to anything, and wasted my time because me and you both fell for the indoctrination of college. Get into debt and go to college. That's what we were told. But everybody graduates. I would say over 90% of the degrees that come out are useless. So you're not going to find a job. And then there's certain fields that are high demand, and there's certain fields that if you have a specific type of degree, like engineering, you're in coding, you're in the tech industry. They're doing a lot of cutbacks due to AI, so there's a lot of jobs not available because of it.
There are a lot of kids right now who are going into the workforce. They're going to trade school so they don't, so they can combat AI, right? But a lot of people our age, like you in your mid 30s. You're not trying to go learn how to become a welder. Let's be real, right? People are not black women. Oh, here you go. What happened to your Wi-Fi? Your signal sucks.
I'm Wi-Fi.
Because your signal sucks. So look, like, what's up, Nick? Like, black men unemployment is at 7%. Black women were overwhelmingly represented in the governmental workforce when like all of those governmental job cuts came. I know so many people who like lost employment because of like the restructuring of the federal government. Like you don't like I'm not saying Trump do anything positive for the American people. See, here we go again. You need to get wherever it is you are going. Mind y'all, Ryan works in the oil field out in like Midland, Odessa, Texas, which I think is quite poetic, right? Because as we're talking about like the job field and things like that, that's why he said that we fell for the dupe of go to college, get a lot of debt.
Okay, so
Ryan went to school, accumulated a lot of debt, was able to make a significant amount of money for himself in the oil field. And you know, so like, yes, transitioning is a thing. Ryan, are you back? Can you hear me? So transitioning in the workforce is a thing, but like at a certain age, no one is necessarily trying to do that. We're gonna wait until Ryan is able to gain some connection. But as you know, like I'm giving him a little backstory.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So, but you know, like we 36, bro. Like, you know, so a lot of people got kids, stuff like that. They don't have the capacity to go and jump into a new field, right? Like the whole, like the American promise. You know, whether you want to say like, you know, they lied to us, get over it. You can't tell people that. You cannot tell people to like get over the fact that you know what I'm saying. I went to go get this job and I went to go get this job in liberal arts to be a journalist, and they don't have newspapers anymore, right? Like,
yeah, they don't have newspapers, but I'm saying social media is it's making millionaires every single day. Like, if you're good at it and you want to do that, you could do it. If you have like 16, 17-year-old, 10-year-olds reviewing toys, they're making millions of dollars. So there's no excuse not to make money in this day and age.
There is
and to touch base on, I mean, hold on.
Sure, though.
Let me just respond. No, not everybody. Yeah, I can say that. But let me touch on your base about.
You can just tell people like, you can become a millionaire. You doing social media. Like these people got to learn how to edit. They got to find somebody to edit. Like there's so much stuff that goes into that. And while you trying to become an influencer, how are you paying your bills?
Like 7:10, 7:20. You got to grind. You got to work 24 hours a day.
You see what I'm saying?
But it's hard. No one said it's easy. No one said it's easy. But you got to think about how this country was built. You think it was easy, the job they were doing back in the day?
How this country was built. Slavery.
That's not how. No, 0%. A small percentage, but yeah.
No, a large percentage, bro. Slavery, unpaid labor is how this unpaid labor and credit. Like what? That's how this country was built. Slavery and credit. Like that's exactly how this country was built, bro. They got a lot of people to work for free, so they didn't have to be outside in the sun because we know that white people burn. Right? They use a lot of sunscreen. Sunscreen was not invented back then. That shit sucked. You're gonna get sunburned, especially if you live in the South. So slavery and credit. That is how this country was built. This country was not
back
built
in the day.
Back in the
day, it was. Back in the day, it was just entrepreneurs taking advantage of the systems that were in place.
Yeah, for sure. Like, but they credit. White man, if you was white,
now you got to find this. Now you got to find the systems that are in place right now and work within those. Take advantage.
No, that's not how this works. Hence, why the Democrats are like, "Yo, make life more equitable," and Republicans like, "Yo, you know what I mean? Go pull yourself up by the bootstraps." But that's not necessarily the case because you got to know people who know people to be able to get into these spaces to be able to make money. But if you don't have any exposure to those people, then you can't
get exposed
to those arenas and play ball. Like, yeah, that's a lot easier said.
Go get exposed. Get on Instagram and get on Instagram and follow the top 1,000 people that do whatever you want to do and DM them every single day.
Is that what you did?
Send them emails. DM them, ask them, hey, I really want to learn.
Is that what you did?
I would. No, I didn't. But I'm saying that's what that couldn't be my excuse.
No, hell no. What did you do?
No, pretty much about finished.
Yes. What did you do?
To do what?
How did you to get to where you are? Right, you
to get in the oil field.
Yes, like how did you get to where you are now? Right? We was on the phone the other day. You told the guy.
I got a job offer for.
You told the guy, I got
So
seniority.
I got out of college.
I get to sit in the truck, right? How you get to sit in the truck?
Yeah,
now?
not complaining, not making excuses, doing anything and everything, working 100 hours a week. If my boss says, "Hey, I know you just worked 12 hours,"
you got to start over
Okay.
because your Wi-Fi is stupid and you like got all chopped up. So, how did you get in?
So, how did I get in the oil field?
Yes,
My cousin got a job, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come work with me
right,
to be his laborer?"
right, boom, right. That's how getting a job works, right? Like you got to know somebody who knows somebody, but if you don't know nobody who do that, it's very hard for you to get over there. Like, yes, you can
Yeah,
DM
but anybody
straight.
and everybody can get in here.
Nah, bro, it's not like that. Because if everybody could do it, then everybody would do it. Like,
Hey, anybody on here watching the pod, anybody who watches the podcast, message me if you want a job. I'm looking for help. If somebody really wants to work hard, hate their life, eat dust, 120-degree weather, and you want to get yelled at every single day, but make really good money, let me know. This best, I'll try. I am the guy to give you a doorway in. Potentially, let me know. Give me a call. We'll talk it out. But I was saying, my cousin, he's done the oil field for 20, 30 years. He's a multi-time felon. He's been in jail for bank robbery. He's drugs, stealing, all this other stuff. He's not the ideal person, but they'll hire anybody out here. The one thing they care about is your willingness to work. They don't care if you don't know how to do it. They'll teach you. But you got to be able to bust your butt, not complain, do what you're told to do. Don't have any attitude about it, and don't ask when you're going home. You're going to go home when the job is done. So it might be 8, 10 o'clock at night. You might have been working from 5 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night, but job's got to get done. This is how oil and gas works. And you put in your work. You show that you show up on time every single day. You work your hardest. Show that you're willing to learn the craft. You'll move up in this world. I've been doing it 10 years. I didn't know anything. Never saw myself being in the oil field. I didn't know how to change a tire when I came out here, to be honest. I knew righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's about my extent of mechanic work. But here I am 10 years later. I know an abundance amount, way too much than I ever thought I would possibly know. And granted, I've had other people that come in here and they're not willing to learn. The younger generation that I've hired on, some 18, 19-year-olds, they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to show up on time. They can do the bare minimum of showing up on time. There's just foundational things like showing up on time, the willingness to work and listen to what you're being told. And no back talk. There's too much attitude in this day. That's what you need to do. Put your applications in. I'm on Facebook groups for oil field. There's people we're hiring all the time. And the fact that we're at war, it's a bad thing, but it's a great thing for oil field. We're booming. We need oil and gas to fuel the war and to build and to do anything and everything. So yeah, oil prices are high, but come out to oil field, make some money.
I mean, and great speech. And if anybody needs a job, you heard Ryan. If you would like a job, reach out to Ryan at Snoochie Boochies on Facebook. I'll make sure.
I'll give you a try.
I'll make sure to share that information with anybody. But you still prove my point that, like, for most folks, being able to get a job, but it's getting a job pretty much anywhere. Like, the thing is that you got to know somebody who knows somebody to be able to get in the door, right? Like, and there's so many people these days, right? Like, there are a lot of people who don't know anybody, right? Colton Goddard, yes, this guy is a Republican. And I agree with you. Trump does not care about the American people. I appreciate you for watching. What's up, Nick? What's up, Melinda? Appreciate y'all for bearing with us. Ryan is out in the middle of nowhere. So like, we'll let him make it this week, but next week he need to be in the goddamn house in front of a phone with an actual camera on. But he looked like he might be in civilization now, which is good. But going back to what we were saying, like, because you're talking about Trump did shit for jobs, right? Like, it's maybe specific jobs, but most people can't find a job. Most people are struggling with the cost of food, with the cost of gas, with the cost of rent. Like, and none of those things have gotten any better since, like, Trump has been the president. So, like, this second time around. So I'm especially, like, now that we're going into the midterms and everybody is seeing how the Republicans are just following him around. Like, how? I guess my question is, right, because I get upset with my party when I feel like they're just following the herd. But, like, your party is totally just following the herd. Like, it don't seem like any of them, like, have their own spine. Or they're, you know what I'm saying? They're just at the beck and call of Donald Trump. Like, how do you, like, get behind people like that.
Let me preface this. Let me ask you one question before I answer your question.
Okay,
Do you
man.
equate the following that you see of the Donald Trump following? So whenever you say the cult followers or whatever that follow Donald Trump, wherever the hell he goes, you equate that to the same as all the Democrats that followed Biden. And if you say yes, I will respect your answer. If you say no, you're a liar.
So I honestly, I don't feel like all the Democrats followed Biden. Like, and that could just be my, like, I have a bias against Joe Biden.
So
Right.
Biden/Harris. They're the same person.
I think that so the things that Joe Biden was doing, right? I think that so this is what I think.
There's a simple answer: yes or no. Are they the same?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. This is why I say that. This is why this is my answer, right? Because Donald Trump rules more like a oligarch king than the traditional president, right? Joe Biden, was more of the same. Donald Trump's leadership style is completely different. It's a lot more.
You mean like when Joe Biden said, "Oh, the Supreme Court's gonna strike down the fact that I'm gonna go ahead and wipe out your student loans, but I'm gonna do it anyways."
I mean, like now for
That's
me,
the dictator. Or the Democratic Party who said,
as
"Hey,
a person who
we're gonna
don't want to
go
pay
ahead
their
and put."
student loans back because college is a scam, right?
Oh, I agree with you. I agree.
Right. So
but that was an oligarch move.
But what? No, it's not. That's a populist move. No, it's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's only not a dictator oligarch move because it benefited you.
Bro, it would have benefited you. You would have saved so much money, dog. Like, wait.
But I didn't want it. I didn't want it.
Hold up. Wait, it don't matter. So you didn't want to keep that over $100,000 that you spent and gave to the government that you'd never give back, that you could have took that money and put that money in something for your baby. You could have bought some property. You could have did so much.
Because I signed on the dotted line. I took that loans out. I don't expect other Americans who didn't do that or did pay back their loans or never went to college to pay for my debt.
It does not matter.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it's a principle thing. I'm not. It's a principle thing.
Principle my ass. They bailed out banks, bro. They can bail out the people.
And I'm against that as well. I'm saying I can't be against bailing out banks and then be like, oh, but you can bail us out. No, I hate both of them.
You should, bro. You should be like, help the people, bro. Forget the banks, but help the people. That's why Mom Downey's so popular, bro. Because they like, forget the corporations, help the people. You are the people. Joe Biden, you would be $100,000 richer, bro. Had Joe Biden said, forget the Supreme Court. I'm gonna do the populist thing, and I'm gonna make sure that people got more money in their pocket. Like we would all have more money. We would all have more money. Like, granted, right? Like I'm with you, bro, with like the COVID thing, right? Kinda. Like I got mixed feelings about that, right? I feel like all of the things, I feel like Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Fauci, they all messed the money up. They messed the money up, they messed the education system up. The kids are not where they're supposed to be. Right? Like we lost about 3 to 5 years of education. They behind like never before. We lost so many legacy businesses because of like the closures of the schools and all that other kind of stuff. I personally, I got a shot, right? But I felt like I was forced to get a shot because I wanted to get a job, right? Which sucked, right? It didn't feel good to feel like the government was
and if you didn't get a shot, your Democrat Party would have outed you. They'd have been like, "Hey, get out of our party! You're a bigot. You're a racist. You want to kill my grandmother because you didn't get a shot."
You see, this is the thing, right? Like, because the Democratic
Party, one side did that, the other side didn't. That's the Democrat side.
Granted, right? These are things that I'm not okay with, right? I wasn't okay with going to get the shot, but I really wanted to teach them kids that summer at this university, and I could not teach at the university without getting a shot. And I'm not going to name the university, but I did feel like my rights had been infringed on because the government said I got to get this shot, and I had no idea what was in the shot. Now, mind you, I got the shot, and I got COVID a whole bunch of times. They did say that it wouldn't prevent you from getting COVID, but I caught COVID so many times, and I'm just like, I don't even understand what the point of this was. They said, well, maybe I only got it once, and maybe it kept me from dying. I don't know. But I honestly don't know. And, I'm not trying to spread no misinformation. This is just how I feel. Right. So the government as a
You're
whole
right. You're right.
about
The
what?
COVID thing was BS.
I mean, I don't
I mean,
know.
if you just looked at the statistics of who was dying, you had less than a 1% chance of dying, especially the kids. It was
I don't.
comorbidities was a main factor.
We're
Yeah,
not
there's
spreading.
outliers.
We're not spreading misinformation.
Those are facts. Those are the CDC numbers.
The Politics and Pan
Fact.
podcast is not endorsing that as a fact. We're just going to
Co-
put that up
The COVID jab was the biggest hoax of one of the biggest hoax of our generation.
On our opinions. These are not facts. These are our opinions on these matters. We are not speaking facts. We don't have any sources. And we're going to remain integrable because I'm not,
Politics of Pan, like
I'm kind
Fauci,
of a
please the fifth.
journalist now, but I'm really like an opinion columnist. So these are no facts, right? Like these are no facts that are happening right now in this conversation. So this is just my general opinion. Like I feel like the government
Tell your viewers if they want the facts. If you want the facts, viewers, go look at the CDC. Go look into who was dying. Go look at your chances of dying during COVID. What the comorbidities were be. It was less than 1%.
Man, so my boy Nick,
it's basically a colder state.
Now, I'm not saying I know people who had family members pass from COVID, and things like that, and I definitely, I had it. I had COVID about 5 times. It sucked. It totally sucked. It was terrible. Thank
Probably because
Lord
you got the jab.
But I don't know.
COVID. I had COVID once for 24 hours.
It sucked. I had COVID. I think the longest time I had COVID may have been 5 days. It was absolutely terrible. It was terrible.
And I feel for everybody that went through it who lost anybody. No one's taken anything away from it. I'm not saying COVID was a terrible thing released on China by China.
We don't know that.
To shut up the world. It was 100% proven. Wuhan lab. It wasn't from some meat market. It was a Wuhan lab. The Chinese people. Chinese people are wicked, bro. The China virus.
No, we don't know that, and that's the whole the Fauci sham trial. But that's what I'm saying. The Republican Party just does silly things like that, right?
But it's true. It's 100% true. Have you looked into it?
It's not 100% true. There's this. This is the thing. It's political theater. We don't know this. We don't know
the hearing, yes, because they're not going to do anything about it.
Rand Paul is unhinged. He went on there saying I'm gonna put bro in jail.
He needs to be in jail.
He's unhinged. I'm not saying he need to be in jail. We don't know. I got a really smart friend who said something.
That's the same guy in the 80s who said you'll get the AIDS from just being around somebody with the AIDS.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, that guy's a joke.
He didn't know the AIDS was new. We calling it the AIDS.
The facts around COVID, he did know. There was email leaks that already came out.
Who knows how
after the show, look up the leak.
We are in the land of the deep fake, bro. I don't know. I'm not finna believe what these congressmen and senators is saying just off the cuff that they said we got email.
But with your mindset, then you cannot believe anything ever.
I'm skeptical about everything. I'm skeptical about everything that is coming out of the mouth of my elected leader because one, right, especially in Congress, one, who is paying you to say this? Are you integrable? Do you have integrity? Are you being bought? And that's on either side. What's the spin here? Yes, everything is to be questioned. Everything is to be
absolutely.
So I'm not.
Not supposed to be taken at face value, but look it up. I read about it.
Yes,
I looked into it.
But there is information that counters your argument, right? That's what I'm saying, right? My information, as you saying, COVID wasn't real. I caught it 5 times. Nick said,
no, it was real. No one said COVID wasn't real.
Look, I knew healthy people who died, bro. You know what I mean? So.
Right, and I'm sorry that the healthy people died. There's healthy people who died. I'm not saying it was only healthy people who were going to survive. That's not what I said. I said it's a less than 1% chance. That's an anomaly. There's healthy people died. Yes, people that are 100% healthy died. It just happens.
Percentage.
When you have to break it down through demographics.
The average overall death rate. Okay. This is what Google says. Was between 0.5% and 1%. I stand corrected. For all the
I'm not blabbing this stuff out because I haven't looked it up. Look at the
For all-
CDC numbers as well. Then you can break it down into demographics and ages. This is
Like,
not something I'm just BSing.
okay, look, I can't argue with that. I'm not gonna argue with that. We looked it up. I had already said I'm not giving up facts.
And to all your viewers out there, if you had someone loved one who died, I sincerely apologize for that. Nobody wanted to see anybody die. And during the COVID epidemic, we were all scared. And we were all trying to do our best to wear masks and sanitize and do everything. All I'm saying is that some of our leaders were too extreme, going over the top. And to the percentages wise of people who were dying, etc., they did more bad to our society than they did good. Especially with the closing of schools, shutting down businesses, letting Walmart and Home Depot and Amazon be open, but shutting down mom and pops, destroyed our economy, destroyed the small markets, and destroyed our future education, or the kids of our future of America. They destroyed our kids.
Now that part, right? Now that part, I think needs to be said. Like, I don't disagree with you on that. Now, I could not attest to the percentages and stuff like that, but did look it up. It was 0.5 to 1%. But I do think that, like, just we are feeling like, so much money was lost, so much time was lost, so much instruction time was lost. There was, like, the remnants of COVID, we still feeling that today. Like,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I definitely think that a lot of that stuff was like it was a bit over the top during COVID. But I'm younger, right? You know what I'm saying? I was younger then than I am now. Like, I flew a lot during that time. I was on a plane a whole lot during that time. Somebody might go, well, that's why you caught COVID 5 times. You're wrong. Anytime I caught COVID, I was not traveling. I wasn't traveling. Like, I caught it twice around Christmas, like just kind of being at home. But that's neither here nor there. But I was talking to my barber today, and he was saying, like, like his business, like he had to close his barbershop. A lot of barbers that like had to stop working and they had to go get other jobs because they closed down all the barbershops. People couldn't gather, they couldn't commune anymore. And
While Nancy Pelosi was in San Francisco going to a hair salon, but you couldn't get your hair cut.
Now, my barber, he decided that he was going to put his barbershop. He put his barbershop in the back of his house. Like, he refashioned like his back patio and turned it into a barbershop where it could be like one person in and one person out, and with sanitizers going and all that other kind of stuff. COVID was a wild time. I had started being a teacher like at the beginning, like right before COVID, and to see my students before COVID and after COVID, it was night and day. Like, they were completely different people. Like, so but that's the thing, right? Like, you got to question everything because you can't just say like, right? Because, people were so afraid. There was a lot of fear mongering going on. And I definitely think that the government didn't do the best job. Hell, my favorite bar in the history of bars got closed down. RIP to Drink Houston, man. I used to love Drink Houston. It was this club, I'm over there like by the Dave and Buster's off of I-10. It was huge. It had like 8 clubs inside. You could just walk around and just like go to a bunch of different clubs. Country club, hip hop club, rock club, comedy club. I don't know if a comedy club was in there, but it was so many different clubs in there. It was such a great time. And after COVID, no more. They couldn't sustain. It was gone. I miss that place.
They did more economic damage than it. That was a hectic, terrible time for all of America, for the whole world in that. But then our leadership just doubled down and made it worse.
Yeah, I think
and I'm not saying Trump is not taken out of that. He's definitely a part of that problem, especially with the whole 14 days stop the spread, etc. But it was you could see in a lot more Democrat states that they were even harsher compared to like Florida with DeSantis, but they were completely open. Texas for the most part, at least from my lifestyle wise, was completely open. There was nothing drawn back or anything like that. But it was detrimental to all of America economically, our education. And there's nowhere near bouncing back here.
Yeah, not that. Like, if we can have an honest, if we can have an honest conversation about it, like it was pretty detrimental. Like, and it was a scary time. And as of now, we have not recovered. And I just think that the economic viability of the country as a whole has just gone down. Like, since that moment, like
our social. I mean, it came from China, and I think they definitely had a big play in it when it came to the release, and they're our number one adversaries. China is. I mean, hands down, bar none. But anybody else in the world, China is our number one adversary. And it was definitely the way it happened. Is kind of re-social engineered our entire society to where we were all locked down, and then we kind of sort of grew norm. It became the new norm. It's like everybody wanted to work from home. Kids wanted to stay at home. People wanted to do Zoom. Kids want to be homeschooled. People want to do school from home. They don't want to go back to school. Teachers don't want to go to school. Everyone wanted to do that. And now we have a generation that's grown up in their most pivotal years, learning and doing everything at home. And now they don't want to leave the house.
You know what?
Now
man?
they can't socialize. Now they don't know how to talk to a female. And then our birth rates are declining. And all this, it was like the perfect storm.
We just got back from the Great Wolf Lodge, and Hendrix was in there watching YouTube. And there's so many people, bro. There was so many videos of people being like, they have been building these universes in Minecraft for like 4 years. Like they spend like 100, 200, 300 hours like building these alternate worlds in Minecraft. Like just to think about how much time that person is spending alone in front of their computer talking to somebody through a microphone. Like I'm not doing that with you right now. But I only do this once a week for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But to sit there, bro, and to create this own virtual world and you like talking to people that you can't see or hug, you feel what I'm saying? Is insane to me. Like that is normal to so many people.
That's kind of desensitized. I mean, we're already a desensitized society. But it's even desensitized because it removes the human aspect. It detaches us from humanity. I mean, so that it started with during the COVID, I mean, even more, but and then division, the hatred of the left and the right. And then now you can basically, I don't look at Democrats that I disagree with as less of me, less human or anything like that. But there's a lot of people on both sides. I'm not going to say it's not on the right either, but like we'll look at a MAGA person like, oh, he's a bigot, he's the scum of the earth, he should die, and vice versa. And there's people with that mindset that would be like, they are directly going to impact my life, and it's kill or be killed sort of thing. And it's ridiculous because they completely lose all emotion and all attachment to humanity.
You know, I was reading a news article, and they were saying that like Gen Z, they're more acceptable of political violence, and that's that generation that's like on the game.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's that generation. Like they are okay with political violence. Some of them see it as something that is like needed and necessary from time to time. And more like millennials are like, nah, that's not cool. But the younger generations, they're like, yeah, like blow some shit up. Colton, you have been a great guest today. I'm not even gonna lie. Who is CK? No, I don't think he realizes all the fucking stupid shit Trump has done.
They're confused.
Look, this is what Colton said. This is what Colton was asking about you.
I didn't watch the beginning of the video, and I said that Trump has done a lot of stupid things.
You know, I don't think so. Like, I think Colton is he's the polarized person that you're speaking about, right? Like, I don't, I'm a Democrat. I'm not like a super liberal Democrat, but I'm pretty moderately conservative, but also like very socially liberal, right? Like, so like I'm more of like a fiscal conservative and like, liberally social, right? I just, live and let live, right? I don't care. Like, I don't care if you
I have that same exact mindset. To an extent.
Bullshit. No, you
I
don't.
do.
No, you
I do 100%.
You would have lived in that.
So does Trump. Trump was the first ever president to ever when he first became president, to endorse same-sex marriage and the gays. Obama didn't. He didn't agree with same-sex marriage when he came in 2008. Trump was the only president ever in history.
You see my face?
Yeah, I'm saying that's something. He's a liberal in that way. Now, when it comes to extra on the, I respect the LGB. Everything else after that, I don't even consider. I don't even give a second thought. But that's how liberal I am.
That's not.
There's an extent. I'm socially liberal. LGB, perfect, amazing. You want to do what you want? I want to bring back the LGBs of the 80s and 90s, like where I grew up with, that were cool as hell. And then the early 2000s, mid 2000s to now, the movement has gone so far off the track that I know really cool friends of mine that are lesbian and gay. They're like, we're not a part of that. Don't. I don't see you as that.
As a non,
it's gone too far.
as a non-gay person, how you gonna say the movement has gone too far off the track? You're not gay. You ain't never been a part of the movement.
I could just see the movement. It's ludicrous.
You're not a part of the movement. Like you can't critique something you're not a part of.
Shout out to all the lesbian and gay people out there. I love you guys.
Dog, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Jizzy in the house.
I'm saying, I'm saying, you gotta say, was it? I think it's Oregon is the state. They just passed a law where you can be nude anywhere, and it's not a crime. So you can go get naked in a park and show your penis if you want, but as long as you're not doing it in a sexual way, it's not a crime. And that's where my social liberalism stops. Like, nah, bro, I'm cool with that.
No,
I'm liberal. I love it all.
You cannot be naked anywhere in Portland. I mean, in Oregon.
Where is it? I'll have to look it up. I'll send it to you.
Again, right? Like now, the COVID percentage thing, that was right. But
I'll show you the law. I just watched it. I'll show you the law. Because it might not have been Oregon. It might have been Washington. But I said there was a story about a woman, a man who came up to his house, butt naked. He called the cops. Cops said, "We can't do anything about it. You can be naked all you want. Like we could possibly do trespassing because it's on your land, but other than that, we can't."
No, that's fake news.
No, I'll show you the link, and I'll make sure I show it in the comments on here. So anybody who's hearing it, you'll see it later on.
That's fake news.
It's 100% true. I looked it up afterwards.
It's fake.
After I heard it, because I was like, that sounds weird. And then I was like, let me look it up. And I was like, oh crap, it is a thing.
No, that's fake news. Fake news.
I'll share it in the comments. You can tell Colton. I'll share it in the comments. Come look at the comments later on.
Yeah, yeah, okay, whatever. We're gonna see this. But as of right now, to anybody watching.
But you not see the pride parades where they're just walking around naked?
No, bro, I've been in a pride parade, bro. They're not naked.
I'm not saying everyone, but look at the videos that happened in Washington this last year. Butt naked, penis is out.
They be like scandally, they be dressed scandally clad, right? I think that's a word.
Penis
like,
is out.
Like, I mean,
100%.
You might totally be able to see some penis. I'm not even gonna lie. Like they might have on like one of them weird like thongs.
There's nothing on. Zero things on.
No. You can't be.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link, brother. I'll send you the link. I would do it right now if I was on a computer because I would send it to you and we could watch the video together.
Because like you got when they have like the slut walks and stuff like that, they be walking around outside with like no shirts on and shit like that. So it's different everywhere you go, right? Like sometimes they be naked, sometimes they don't be naked. It just depends on like what municipality you in and what.
You just said that it never happens, and then now you're saying sometimes they be naked.
Butt naked, like not butt naked. They'll have like the genitalia is normally covered, but like the top half is exposed.
Normally, tell me, 100% never happens.
Normally, I can't say 100%.
Exactly.
People streaking football games all the time, butt naked.
No, I'm talking about at a pride parade. 100% never happens that they're butt naked.
No.
I'll drop the link in the comments as well.
I cannot say I've only been to one pride parade in Houston. No one was naked. They were damn near naked. Some people was damn near naked. I won't say that they wasn't naked, right? But it was a great time. Me and Dominic went. We was on the float. We was drunk as shit. It was great. We had a great time. Like, it was super fun. I would encourage you to go. Like, next time I go, you should totally come. We're going to ball out. We'll have beer. It'll be great. Pride parades are super fun. But that's how liberal I am. Like,
I'm down to go. I will go with you. I ain't taking my damn kids because that's crazy.
I mean, like, it's a great time. I would bring Harper. Like, I would totally
there should be no kids at Harper parades.
Well, my mom used to do hair. And growing up, my mom had a friend. I don't remember this gentleman's name, and I don't think I'm misgendering them. But we were at a Uno's Pizza, and I remember bro told me he was gonna be my godmama. Now I never get that. And I know it was difficult for my mama to explain it to me. I was like 7. But at the same time, she eloquently told me everybody lives differently. Right? Like, and that was it, bro. Everybody got a little different way of life, and that's cool. I live different to you, you live different to me. You know what I mean? We both so happen to like women, right? And that's our vibe. Some people, they like other things, and that's their vibe too. As long as they're not
and there's no problem with it.
Harm, as long as they're not bringing any harm to anybody else, it should be just fine, and they should be able to identify how they would like to. And your liberalism should extend to them being able to be human in the experience that fits them the best.
Absolutely. No one has any problem with it. You can identify however you want.
That ain't what you and Donald Trump are saying.
What? There's only two genders, yes. You can go ahead and identify however you want, but it doesn't mean you're right. It means you have a mental illness. That's cool. You can do whatever you want. You're born a guy, you're a guy. You're born a girl, you're a girl. You can never be the opposite. You can identify as the opposite all you want. You can never be the opposite.
I mean, you know, like
I mean,
that's why I said you are not living, let live.
no, absolutely. Do whatever. I'm saying I'm not going to go and hate on someone who thinks they're a man or attack them or bully them or harass them. I live and let live. But if they came up to me and said, "I'm a man" or "I'm a female," like, no, you're not. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, yes, you are." I'm not going to affirm their gender. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be like, if they say, "Hey, I'm a they or a z," I'm like, "Okay, I don't care." Like, I'm not gonna.
Why you gonna argue with them? What's the point of arguing?
I'm not gonna argue with them. I'm not going. Why would I argue with them? I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna keep moving on.
So, are you gonna respect the pronouns? Yes or no?
No. What? No.
You're not being a liberal.
No. What? So if I have to be tolerant to their radical ideology, but they can't respect mine. But that's not radical. That's been the basis of all human civilization for their entire civilization of the earth. Since God made man, there's two people, Adam and Eve. Man and woman.
All you have to do is just respect the freedom of choice for them to be who they say they are.
Yeah. Exactly what you just said. This is what you just said. Respect the freedom of choice for them, and then they should be able to respect me and say, I politely decline to respect to affirm that.
But why
that should be fair.
It's not fair because you are declining somebody to exist in the way that they want to exist, and you are saying back to them.
I'm not saying they can exist. I'm not saying they can't exist.
If they say, please address me as they, them, there. Like, what's the harm in saying, all right, let them.
I'll be like, okay. I'm like, okay, they conversation over. I don't need to conversate or affiliate myself with people like that. Why would I?
What if, right? Like, you just extended jobs.
And I don't wish them any ill will. I don't wish them any ill will. I don't want anybody to hate on them.
To a bunch of people, right?
I'm sorry.
You just said on the internet, right? Hey, if you need a job, we are looking for people to come to the oil field right now. If they sent you a job application and they is like, Ryan, I want to come work hard, I'm gonna be on time, but I would like for you to call me they. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what then, Mr. Social?
I would say I appreciate the application, but it probably won't work out because I don't identify. I don't.
Discrimination.
That's not discrimination.
That is discrimination.
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes.
You want to be called they? That's not how that works, guy. Yeah. What's your legal name? I'm gonna call you by your legal name. That's not discrimination.
Bro, they can change their name, bro. This is who they're identifying as. That's discrimination. I just want you, right? I just want you to let the Lord soften your heart.
Lord's in my heart. Lord told me it's genders and said, watch out for the mentally ill people who think they're a bat or a cat or a they or a z or some Dr. Seuss book.
This is.
So walk it in my pocket. No, sorry.
No.
And I humbly disagree. I humbly say, hey, I just don't want to have a conversation with you. But you can go ahead and I hope nothing ever bad happens to you. But I don't wish any ill will. I don't think anybody should harass or bully. No one should hurt. How is that? Who cares? I discriminate. I don't want people who have mental illness. That's cool. If I just like I don't want to hang out with schizophrenic. I don't want to be like, why would I want to surround myself with them?
Because it's not the same
schizophrenia
thing.
By transgender. The transgender community is the only community that has the same suicidal rate as schizophrenia. Now, higher than both the Jews in the Holocaust and blacks in slavery. The only other is over 40%.
You don't think that these people are going through this?
That has the same exact rate as schizophrenic. Look it up.
So you don't think that these people are going through this because they're
like what 2018, 2019, where it was changed.
So you don't think that this is happening because people? Hold on. Wait. Answer this. You don't think that these people are going through this because there are people who won't allow them to live the way that they would like to live, and they will probably rather die than to be denied the freedom to live as themselves. So hold on, Ryan. So Colton, what I'm saying is if you identify whatever you identify as, like, that's how I feel like you should be able to
If a
live your
man can
life.
go in a woman's
No. I mean, but at the same
yeah,
time,
no one's saying you can't.
transgender women have been going to the women's restroom forever. That's not anything new. Like it's not anything new. Like as long as no one is doing any harm to anyone, like people should be able to live how they want to live. Okay, now you
And I don't disagree.
don't
I
disagree
don't
with what?
disagree. I'm not going to actively go out of my way to harass or bully or undermine somebody who wants to be whatever they want to be. I'm not. Why would I do that?
That's 100%
But if someone
discrimination.
comes up to me, if someone comes up to me and tries to have a conversation, I'm having a normal conversation, and I actually say, "Oh, yes, ma'am," and they're like, "Oh, I identify as a they." I'm okay. All right, cool. I don't want to talk to you.
That's discrimination. I just want you to know that you're being discriminated.
Okay, cool. I'm glad. I'm cool with that.
Can we slap hands on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says "Discrimination is cool."
Discrimination is not cool, and this is why I say
I mean,
I want the Lord to soften your heart, right? I want the Lord to soften your heart. It'll
I
be
will
okay.
sit down and have a beer and have a meal. My dad has a really one of his best friends from young kids. She's a transgendered individual. No problem. She's been over to family events all the time. No problem. Love them. Don't wish no ill will. I'm not gonna say, "Ew, don't talk to me, don't touch me." I'll have lovely conversations with her all the time.
But you wouldn't give
She
that lady
she was
flowers.
born a man and she's a she. She identifies as a she. I call her she. I'm not going out of my way to be deliberately mean. But if you're gonna be like they bullcrap, yeah, no. An easy transition of boy girl. You want me to appease you with you identify as a girl. You want me? Yeah, I'll go. Cool.
You know what? We've been sitting here arguing this all this time, and you said and you respect somebody's pronouns.
She and he. Basically, there's only two genders. I don't want all this infinite amount of they, z, x, z.
So if it's a transgender woman and she would like to be called she, then you're okay with that. But you're not okay
Absolutely.
with that.
Yeah. Why would I not? She and he is proper English.
Look, man. Look, bruh. Stop discriminating against people. Okay? That's what's wrong with the Republican Party right now.
Yeah, but
That's
everybody discriminates. Everybody discriminates.
yeah,
Everybody. Yeah, every Democrat discriminates against as soon as they see, oh, he's a Trump supporter. They have a discriminatory or a judgmental background of everything. They immediately process everything. Do you see on Tinder? We'll be like, I will not date a conservative man. All right, just because he's conservative, you're discriminating.
Okay, but so peep this, right? Because everybody not as open minded as I am.
Everybody's discriminating. There's a discriminatory to an extent.
Can you not understand why being a Trump supporter, with the different things that has happened, the sexual assault, the him calling for like young black men to be killed in the 80s, like all of the different things that have happened.
Yeah, he
Like
called for them to be killed in the 80s before, like way early on.
like
That's what it was.
they didn't kill nobody, like, and
Yeah.
it's
It was a terrible case.
right. So what I'm saying is, right, like Donald Trump just as a character, right, like it's just not the best character to be associated with. So if you do associate yourself with Donald Trump in any way, shape, form, or fashion, people may feel as though that you would agree with the not so good things that he has done. So like being a Trump supporter, right, like would have a negative connotation, right?
That's what you could do with you could say that about any leader ever and any celebrity ever.
What like
Cardi B used to drug people and steal their money. She actively said that, but
Cardi B's
people
not
still. I'm
Cardi
not
B-
saying that, but I'm saying it's. But that's any human being.
yeah, bro. Like you cannot.
Biden, you hear all the old Biden clips about black people? Come on, he is super racist.
My mentor says this to me all the time, right? He said when Obama became the president, that was the first time as a black man that he actually voted for someone. Every other time that he has been voting, he's been voting against people, right? I reluctantly, Democrat and all, voted for Joe Biden. When Joe Biden got online and said, "You ain't black unless you vote for me," I didn't like it. Like I thought it was mad disrespectful. Like I did not like that. I like it rubbed me the wrong way, right? Like the way that the Democrats got all them
So
black
now
people.
I'm gonna discriminate against you. I'm like, oh, look at you. You voted for Biden. He hated blacks.
Like, I mean, I don't necessarily think like
I
he
can't.
hates
I, can't-
blacks.
I lost. I lost a little respect for you right there. And how
As a
dare you
whole,
vote for Biden?
I think that his
But I'm
black
not gonna
friends-
judge you. I'm not gonna
Nah,
judge you on it.
Joe Biden ain't a felon, bro. Like you gotta think you conservative, bro. You don't want you wouldn't
What
want
the 34 felonies he got? The 34 count of felonies? Did you look into the cases?
Joe Biden not a felon.
No one said that. No one said he's a felon.
Donald Trump is a
I
felon.
mean, did you look into the felonies? Do you know anything about the 34 counts in New York?
Is he a felon or not?
Huh?
Is he a felon or not?
What crime did he get? What crime did he get? What crime did he get? What crime was he accused of doing? What crime was he accused? In a clown court in New York City by a New York district attorney and New York residents that hated him? Dude was done. He was cooked before it even started.
He's a felon, bro. He a felon.
They pushed that whole case through just to say that he was a felon.
Answer the question. Is he a felon or not? Is he
On
a felon
paper,
or not?
yes.
He's a felon, bro. Like
On paper, yes.
Did Donald Trump
Okay,
lose?
then okay. Let me ask you this question. Hold on. Before we ask that question, he lost. He lost on paper, yes.
So
But I'm saying is,
an election denier.
what I'm telling you is, hey, as a black man
Don't turn that car over.
who believes in systemic racism,
Don't.
I'm not about to pull over here. I'm saying,
all right.
I just pulled over out of the way. As a black man who believes in systemic racism and that the justice system's out to get them, you 100% believe that court case, which you literally, the fact that you're so adamant about it, means you have no idea any of the integral parts of that entire case.
Okay, so
You have no idea of what the charges were.
Okay, first of all, the way you even
Well, you believe the justice system there. You believe the justice system there, but
no, hold up, time out. Because the way you rolled into that, no. The way you wrote into that was terrible. Okay. First of all, Donald Trump is white. Systemic racism doesn't apply to him. Donald Trump is white. Systemic racism doesn't apply to him. That's first. Second.
So white people get fair trials all the time.
Like,
and black people don't.
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I don't know if white people get fair trials all the time. I don't really pay too much attention to, like, the plight of white people. I'm not even gonna lie to you. As a black person and an advocate for black people, who I know that statistically, like, we had an argument about this, right? The cop shooting thing, we went through the article and all that other kind of stuff, that black people are more likely to be harassed by law enforcement. They're more likely to get incarcerated. They're more likely to have negative repercussions with run-ins with law enforcement. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, and also a fact. That black people commit over 50% of violent crimes, and young black people commit 60% of the gun homicides in America. Causation is correlation.
Causation, the cause of anybody that commits any kind of violent crime, for the most part, is the lack of education and the lack of an economic infrastructure, which don't exist.
And the fact. And okay, the biggest key is they're a bad person. A bad person. That person commits violence.
They might not be a bad person. They might not be a bad person.
There's the 1%ers that are doing it because they have to feed their kids that night.
Who was a murderer?
Who's a murderer?
Guess.
Who?
Moses.
What?
Moses was a murderer. Okay? Moses killed somebody. Now, you love the Lord. Was Moses a bad person?
Was Moses a bad person? I don't know. You're getting theological on me. I wasn't ready for any of this.
You want to go there, right?
I got another context.
Ain't no context. You want to talk to me about black people, right? Was Moses
There's justified killing.
No. I called him a murderer, bro. I wouldn't
Straight up murderer?
I wouldn't call somebody who would justifiably kill someone else a murderer.
Why did he murder?
Was Moses a bad person? I need you to answer the question.
If it's strictly all I'm hearing is Moses murdered somebody, then yes, I would say they're a bad person.
So in Exodus 2 and 11 and 12, Moses saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, looked around to ensure no one was watching, and then struck and killed the Egyptian hiding his body in the sand. That's murder,
That's straight up murder.
right? Was Moses a bad person?
But he was beating. This guy
Was
was beating a Jew,
was a Hebrew?
a Hebrew.
Was Moses a bad person? I need you to
So
answer.
he struck someone in the act of defending somebody who was actively getting beat by that person.
Moses a bad person, right? Because we don't know you.
And that's it. In that context, no. If someone's actively beating you and I strike them and they end up dying,
You don't know why these violent crimes occurred. You just got statistics that these young, poor black people did violent crimes, and that statistic gives you no context. So you instantly assume that they are bad people. But what if
well, most of it is against their own people.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter, bro. These are people who are at the bottom. Like these are people at the bottom, bro. They don't got nothing. Like we grew up like, you know what I'm saying, like lower middle class, right? Like upper mobility, right?
Yeah.
So you met people who come from, means for the most part, or like at least a little bit. But like people who are like in the trenches, like trying to survive, you know what I mean? Like violence is a part of that life. Like that's just what it is. You go to any country where there are impoverished people, those people are usually melanated and they're usually undereducated and under resources. And when you are undereducated and under resourced, you do violent things because you don't necessarily have the vocabulary to articulate how you feel. You don't have high emotional intelligence. That is just a byproduct of the government not investing in all the populations in the country, right? You have that amongst Native American people, except for violence, like not like murderous violence, right? Because the CIA didn't dump drugs and guns into their communities, right? Like you hear about the crack epidemic, like just so happened that black people just like loved crack. Just so happened black people love crack. Oh, niggas love crack. Just so happened, so coincidentally, we just love crack. No, bro, like you out of this, like this what I'm saying earlier. You got a question, dog. Like,
of course, I'm not saying at the end of the day, there's variables and there's reasons why people are where they're at, right? But at the end of the day, no one put that gun in your hand and said, "Hey, shoot that person."
This is true. But
we are judged on our actions.
Moses to hit that boy in the head either, though. That's what I'm saying to you. The Lord didn't tell Moses that.
No, but that man was assaulting another person, so he stepped in and assaulted that one. Was saving another person. From the context you just explained, one man was getting beat by another man. He stepped in and beat the other person and ended up killing him. Now he probably will get manslaughter at the most nowadays. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, no one's making you kill somebody. No matter what's your environmental, what's around you in an environment, how you grew up. No one's saying, "Oh, because you grew up here, you're not going to make it out. You're not going to end up being anything." So that's the type of mindset the Democrats are pushing, and the black community are pushing on their own. It's like, hey, no matter what, it's the systemic racism, it's the white supremacy, it's the institutions, it's all this, it's all that, and so basically, I'm saying you're basically raising people to grow up as, no matter what I do, I'm not going to be anything because white people this, white people that, the system's against me. That's what you ingrain in people by saying that sort of stuff.
You gotta be real about the reality of being.
So of course.
The reality is, right, like you got white people, you got black people who grow up white adjacent, right? Like, so they grow up, you know what I'm saying? They may be like, in a minority. They are in the minority their whole life, right? So they grow up adjacent to like what is, acceptable and pertinent and all those things in white culture. Right. Mm-hmm. So, but then also, if you grow up white adjacent, you grow up to the race of people who have control of the resources, right? Like who know people who own oil companies, that own grocery stores, all these other kind of things. Because like just the facts are that like, white people own the majority of the wealth in the country, right? Like, you see about like people who get paid and stuff like that. Like, what I'm saying, like, Asian people like make more money than them. But like because of the history of America, white people own the industry and stuff like that. That's just what it is. But as a black person, like we don't have too many people who own those things. So just like you said, like, your cousin like worked in the oil field, you feel me? I know boys been trying to get a TWIC card for years to just go work at the port, like, what I'm saying, or try to get an offshore job. Like it's really a task. Like it's really, really, really hard for them to achieve that. So it's not
just do it online. You get
Nah,
chip card
bro,
online.
you
You pay a fee, you take the class online, and you get it.
but being able to get there, these are people like I talked to you or saying earlier, bro. These are people who may not be of means, right? The South not very walkable. It's not commutable. Like if you come from like a poor family, a poor background, we talking about poor people, right? Like
Yeah.
these people, like it's hard, bro. Like
I know. But I'm saying I go back to you say it's hard. I understand that, and I'm not taking anything away from it being hard. I
but
understand people have bad circumstances, and but I'm saying is at the end of
the systemic
go ahead,
racism, right?
go ahead.
It's just like the it being hard is the systemic racism, right? Like that's the thing, right? Like when we lived in Murphy Canyon, like the community was crafted for the community that lived there, right? You got the officer housing, you got the enlisted housing and stuff like that. But we had, what I'm saying, there was grocery, right? Like that, we had the NEX, then we had the grocery stores down the street. It was close to that Walmart. It was close to that Vons. Like you could get on the bus. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot. It was a lot more walkable. It was there was area for you to be able to participate like in a healthy way. In a lot of these communities, none of that stuff exists, right? Like it's not easy for them to get from here to there. There aren't available options for them to be able to go get a job and all of the other kind of stuff because the powers that be didn't find it pertinent to invest in those areas. So like that, like so it's not even because I feel like other black people who believe in like the pulling myself up by the bootstraps, I believe that they, what I'm saying, it's by some way, like whether it be a relationship or like financially, there was somebody there to like lift them. And like that's the thing, right? Like your cousin helped lift you towards your upper mobility. Like there's somebody to lift them. And for a lot of black people, there's nobody to lift them. The government lifted white America with the GI Bill and they denied black service members that same benefit for a long time, which floated the white middle class, which gave them equity in houses, and they were able to leverage that and get credit and be able to buy things, start small businesses, so on and so forth. And they didn't have anybody trying to blow their shit up. But like black people did that and they blew their shit up. So it's not necessarily anything to believe in. It's a reality because you can go to Chinatown, can't go to Blacktown. You ain't never seen Johnson Road, you feel me? Or like you only street named after a black person, Martin Luther King. There's some places, you know what I'm saying, that's prominent. There's some
It's the most
places,
dangerous street in every city.
you know what I mean? Like,
But
wow.
I understand the systemicness of everything, but I say the reality of the fact is, it's either you stay in that mindset as the mindset that you have, as like, oh, give me. You need to you need to right the wrongs of the past. Which I mean, absolutely. I mean, I feel bad for the wrongs of the past. But you can either be a black person in the community being like, I'm going to hold out. They owe me this sort of mentality. Or you can face the facts of reality is that no one's going to come out there to help you. There's no one coming to help. So either you grind and get to where you need to get, or you stay where you're at and you continue to be the victim mentality.
Like everybody need help. That's what I'm just saying. You got help. My bad. Hold up. My bad, Colton. We too deep. All the Republicans not going to hell. God don't want that. We said, why do you think we have more homeless people now? Because of Trump, because people can't afford shit, which is true. But I'm not going to say like, so we do have more homeless people, but I'm going to push back. And I'm not going to say that it's solely a Trump thing. I'm going to be like completely objective here. It's just like, I would say like things have been going down here since about like 2018. Mm-hmm. They've been going down here since about 2018. It's definitely been a combination of, the Biden administration and the Trump administration. I would say more Trump administration than Biden administration, but I'm biased. But definitely Trump has dug us in a deeper hole, especially with extending the war as long as he has, which is horseshit.
Absolutely. I agree with you on the war. Yeah. I mean, the war's gone way too long. I thought at the beginning I was holding out to see how it's going, but now it's really a quagmire. It's really.
And I told you this, and you were like, "Let's just see what's going on. It's gonna like help America, like Iran, blah 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 blah." And like Iran now, like reportedly, is stronger now than they were when it started. And like Trump
that's not. They have more leverage in the sense of the Strait of Hormuz, but they're not stronger now.
Totally, they're more unified. Totally more unified. Totally. It's a theocracy. Like Donald Trump ain't getting rid of like the way that the majority of those people over there think. Like I get it, like you know what I mean. But like right now, we damn near in a theocracy. Damn near
Nowhere near close to that.
bullshit. The
Nowhere close to
conservative,
that.
the white evangelistic conservative movement is literally like it's literally trying to take over everything, bro. They're trying
This
like
country is built on Judeo-Christianity.
is the petri dish. This country is built on all these people come from all over the world and living here trying to make some money.
No, I'm talking about the founding fathers built this country in Judeo-Christian values.
They don't believe in Jesus.
Did you read the founding documents? Did you read the state constitutions of our original colonies? Did you read the Declaration of Independence? The Constitution? Do you read the letters from like John Adams and Benjamin Franklin? How
would not have kept slaves if they believed in Jesus. They would not
did you know?
have slaves.
But I'm saying, did you not know all those people were adamantly against slavery? It was a thing that was happening at the time, and they all wanted to move towards getting rid of slavery. You read their documents where they speak, even Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, all of them were speaking directly on that.
We're gonna go over it. We're gonna go over it. But look, we have a time. I appreciate this is a good conversation. 2 questions. What are your predictions for your party in the midterm?
Whew, that's a toss-up. I really think it's a 50-50 chance. I mean, historically, the Democrats should wipe the floor with us. They should win, just historically on past midterms, et cetera, the way it's going when President Trump, Republican being in there. Usually, society takes a swing back to the other side after giving Republicans a chance, or vice versa, Democrats a chance. They'll swing the House back to, or the Congress back to conservatives, or vice versa. So the Democrats should win overwhelmingly. Now, will they? It just depends on how this next 90 days is going to be crucial, especially with the Democrat Socialists of America, the DSA, being a part of that. And you see a lot of some of the factions of the Democrats being like trying to push off of that because they don't want to be a part of that. Because Mamdani, part of it, DSA is as radical as you can get. And even Democrats I don't agree with are finally having common sense to me like, what? We don't want no part of that. So it could be, you know what I'm saying, a wrench in the system. But I think the Democrats end up winning. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a coin flip. I think, like you said, the MAGA base, the people that they want to ride it out. I mean, we had a terrible 4 years under Biden, and Trump is trying to change the system and change a lot of things, and it doesn't happen overnight. So to think it's going to happen in 2 years was, and people just think like, oh, everything's going to change around with the light switch. That's not how the government works. You know what I mean? We have checks and balances. We have Congress. We have the Supreme Court. Trump just can't do anything with the flick of a pen. That doesn't work that way. So then that's why people say, it's ridiculous when people say, "Oh, he's a dictator or he's a fascist," because that's not how those regimes work. Clearly, he does exactly when Supreme Court said something. He's pissed off about it. He might call him out, but we follow the rules of the land. We have checks and balances for a reason, and America's still the greatest country on earth.
Yeah, that's why he's
far none.
That's why he's rigging everything. Okay, second question. Donald Trump told you that he wasn't gonna like get us in any wars and anything like that, but like he lied, right? Like he said that he was gonna bring down the price of groceries, and he lied. He said he was gonna bring back more jobs, and he lied. As someone who, is a supporter of him, when do you feel like he's going to actually tell you the truth? Because he hasn't delivered on the things, like, right? And this is why populism is, gaining so much traction, right? Because he's been lying. And the things that actually matter to Americans, right? Like, their pocketbooks, being able to feed their families and stuff like that. But since he has been in control, the price of gas has gone up, unemployment has skyrocketed, and people aren't able to feed themselves. So as someone who, is, going to support the Republican Party through the midterms and possibly through 2028, like, how do you reckon with this guy being such a fucking liar?
I wouldn't consider him, he's a liar. I wouldn't consider him a liar. He's trying to get things done that they just haven't been able to get done. The war, he said no new wars, but every president, including Obama, or Hillary Clinton, the most, she wasn't a president, but the most relevant person on that. Every administration has spoke against Iran and them not needing nuclear. They've gone closer and closer and closer to getting it. And Trump just happened to be the president at the time where he needed to make the move. And he's always said Iran has been a problem and then they need to be dealt with and they should never have nuclear weapons. Way back in the 80s, there's clips of him talking about Iran on the Oprah Winfrey show. So before he had any idea of running for president, he's always had this mindset, and he talked about that during his campaign. So to say that Iran was just out of left field is to say that you were ignorant on the whole situation of Donald Trump. I don't want a forever war, and it's starting. And at the beginning, that's why I was saying I wanted to see how it goes. It's starting to become more of a quagmire than it is positive. So, but I want to see how it goes. I think Trump is in it too far. He does have a little bit of an ego, and he can't really pull out right now especially going into the midterms. So I think he's willing to sacrifice the midterms for his overall goal of making America greater. I know we are hurting right now. We have a short-term pain for long-term gain. That's what I'm banking on. It's a short-term thing. But when you juxtapose it to the last 4 years under Biden administration, it was the same as I think. We had historic inflation underneath him. Housing market was crazy, overrunning with illegal immigrants, open border. So to say that it's drastically worse is a lie. And to say that we can't get better, it would be a lie. I think we're moving in the right direction. Yeah, we have short-term pain right now for long-term gain. I'm locked in. I'm not just going to sell out. I'm not going to be like, oh, he's wrong for America just in 2 years. And what, you want me to go vote for a Democrat? Not happening. Democrats want to transition your children. Democrats want to have DSA, Democratic Socialists of America. I pray to God that AOC is the primary.
Monolithic. Not everybody in the Democratic Party wants to do that, And
no, I'm not saying, but I'm saying for their leaders, they do. Leaders
bro.
What are you talking about? The transgender thing or the TSA?
Both. Like those aren't things that like everybody in the Democratic Party is like, yeah, we all want to do this, we all want to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like everybody.
Not your normal everyday. I'm saying not your normal everyday Democrat. No, I would say you're a common sense person, but your leaders believe in that.
Like, I mean, I don't think that like you.
And they say those things.
I've never heard Chuck Schumer say that, and I've never heard Hakeem Jeffrey say that.
They fight for trans rights.
Like, I mean,
they will not. And there's not a single Democrat you'll ever meet that you can ask them, hey, do you have a limit on abortion? Not a single Democrat will ever give you an answer.
I mean, like, I'm not pro-abortion, but I'm not anti-abortion either. But I'm pro women's rights. So, like, as a person who does not have a uterus, I'm not going to.
And even Trump is liberal on that aspect too. He said if he had his way, which he doesn't, because it's not a federal government thing. He can't put rules on it. That's why he gave it back to the states was the best move. He said he would have been 15 weeks. He said if I had it my way, I would be. If it was up to him, he would be 15 weeks. After 15 weeks, you couldn't get it. Well, that's a more logical. And you meet people on the left that were like, no way, I should be able to get an abortion up to whenever the heck I want. But that's ridiculous.
It's their bodies.
Okay, and that's why I would never be able to vote for a Democrat.
Live and let live. Right? That's between them and the Lord.
You live and let live, and that's how you live and let live, and that's how your society crumbles.
No, but the thing about Republicans is Republicans always talking about they want like limited government, but they want to control people. Like, you can't have both. You can't tell people how to live their lives and then be like, oh, but we don't want the government in our lives. But you are literally being in people's lives, telling them what to do. Republicans are telling people that they got to believe in God. They're telling people that they can't have abortions. They're telling people that they can't do. They're telling people what they can't do, but being like we the small government party. That's backwards as hell.
I mean, small federal government. They don't have a rule on abortion in the federal government. They gave it back to the state.
Bro, who controls most of the states? Republicans, bro.
Okay, that's fine, but they give the power back to the people. The people vote people in, and they vote on that.
Right.
So that's still limited government. That's limited government. That's limited federal government.
So it's limited government is telling women what to do with their bodies. That's not government. Like you said, try to say federal government. No, Republicans want the government, period, to play a small role. Even state governments. They want state governments to keep the lights on, make sure that we protect it, we got police and stuff like that. But they want you to empower them to be able to make money, get rid of regulations so that they can make money, right? Drill oil, do all that other kind of stuff. But also, like, leave us alone. Let us pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and pray and have our Bibles and live our lives. But you're also telling people what to do based on your Bible. Like,
it's not based on Bible. It's not, to me personally. I'm saying to me personally, abortion is.
Who cares then? It's not. Who cares? It's not your baby. It's not your baby.
It's murder.
It's murder. You. Hey, baby. Oh, whatever. It's not your baby. It's not your baby.
So you're okay with murder? Cool.
I'm okay with people doing what they're gonna do and letting them and they maker and they Lord and Savior deal with that. That's their thing. But if people are gonna do it, if people are gonna do it, then at least make it safe for them to be able to do it.
So like, if I want to murder someone, as long as it's safe.
If you want to murder someone, you're going to prison.
Okay, just if you kill your baby. If I kill a pregnant woman, I'm getting 2 counts of murder.
Yeah, you're going to jail. You shouldn't have did that.
But if a woman kills a baby, it's not murder. Explain that to me. How is that logical?
It's her body. You got to talk to the woman about that. I'm not a woman, bro. I'm not a woman, but that's her body, though. That's what I'm saying. You are robbing people of the freedom of choice. You got to let them and the Lord work that out. That's what I'm saying. That's her choice. And it's not a small government thing when you rob people of choice. People don't like to be robbed of their choice. That's the whole.
But they have a choice. They have a choice. They can go to any they can go to any Democrat state and get an abortion.
Nah, I mean, bro, people can't afford that. They can't
And
afford
that's, I
that.
mean,
So they're robbed of
but,
choice.
but you know like the origination of Margaret Sanger, who started Planned Parenthood, who put most of the Planned Parenthoods in black communities.
Yep, Hershey was a racist, but also at the same time,
and aborted more babies in this country than anything else.
Look, you can bring it back to black people all you want.
I'm saying that hurts your community.
Those black women, if they want to go and do that, that is their choice, and that is between them and they God.
Perfect. There you go. So you say so. I'll give you free will. So then you can't make excuses for anything else. Then so black people will want to, like I said, 60% gun homicide rates. That was their choice to commit the crime. They're going to go to jail. So you can't blame white supremacy or systemic racism on the fact that they take up most of the prisons.
Because where are the jobs, Ryan? Go to black neighborhoods and tell me where the jobs at. Where are the money? Where's the money they invest in the public school? People commit crimes when they are uneducated. Like, that's a fact. People do these things when they are uneducated. That's a fact.
And black people are more likely to drop out of high school.
Like, invest in the communities because why? Because they gotta go to work. Because they're poor.
Why? Because what?
Poor.
You agree that after the what's it called, the social welfare program, and it was like the black community had over 70 or 80% or something like that of fathers in the household, and then after that they were incentivized to not have them. So now it's at a staggering low. Getting the black fathers in there. So without a father in any race, you're more likely to drop out or commit a crime or go to prison.
Is crack. What you're leaving out is crack. That's what you're leaving out. The government came and dropped crack in our neighborhoods, bro.
I'm talking about today.
Today, this is the remnants. It's like we're talking about the remnants of COVID, like the remnants of all of these things that happen, bro. That shit accumulates. It's like a snowball, and it fucks shit up, right? And like it fucks shit up. Like everything got fucked up. That's the facts. Those are the facts.
Every generation has a problem. Everything. There's always issues. There's always going to be issues.
Women, white women, black women, Asian women. It don't matter. Whoever. If a woman wants to get an abortion, that's her choice. Like, that's her choice. No one gets to absolve her of that choice. No one gets to tell her what's good for her. No one gets to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, right. Like, see, look here. Even though this is mean, it's her body. It's her body, bro. Like, you don't get to, like, no one gets to tell you what to do with your body. It should be the same for women.
Okay, but they did during COVID. You got to get a COVID shot or you can't teach at this school. Your body, your choice. That was the Democrat government being like, hey, you're going to get fired from firing nurses in the ICU because they didn't want to get the.
And, and as someone whose bodily autonomy was taken from them by the government, I can empathize with those women because it was not cool.
So you should be anti-Democrats.
Like, I'm not anti-Democrats because I'm where the black people are, and most of the black people.
Bodily autonomy is okay sometimes when it aligns with you, but sometimes it's not okay.
Bodily autonomy is everybody should have the full autonomy to do with their bodies as they please. Like, it's okay at all times. I chose to get the jab because I wanted to work at that school. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it. I just took my chances. Honestly, like, I had a partner who told me he don't believe in COVID. That's what he said. It don't exist. It was like, it's not real. I just looked at him.
I didn't go as far as that. I
just looked at him. I didn't really have much more today. He was like, it's not real. I'm like, okay, all right, bro. But yo, I appreciate this. We had to extend a little bit because Ryan was like driving, whatever, rude fucker.
I appreciate you.
But always we had a very spirited conversation. I appreciate your perspective, and I just appreciate you hopping on and shooting the shit with me. We haven't done this in a while. Like, it's always good to have. Most of the time I got people who are Democrats on who, we kind of sit in the echo chamber. But, it's good. I know that we can have a good, tasteful conversation. We can learn from one another. Because I definitely know that. I thought, because Colton said people was dying at 89% from COVID, but the internet said it was 1%. So me and Colton was both wrong. You know what I mean? So we can always learn something. But also,
absolutely.
in his
I
heart.
appreciate the respectful conversation,
And read Exodus.
and I
so you can
appreciate Colton.
read Exodus so you can learn about Moses, because Moses
I
was.
need to read the Bible. I need to read the Bible.
Yeah, you need. Yeah, for sure. Republican, you ain't reading the Bible. You ain't no real Republican. Anyway,
I don't let the Bible just dictate my laws. I don't look at abortion in that light when it comes to the Bible or
touche.
anything like that. We keep
Oh,
politics, we keep religion out of it.
good night, Maggie. Oh, Mags.
Oh, love you, babe. I'll call you back in a little bit.
Oh, look, that's Ryan's baby right there. That's Maggie.
The two most amazing women in the world.
Yes, and that's his wife Melinda. Hello, ladies. Hello. But it's time to go. Ryan, I love you, dog.
I appreciate you, man. I love you too. Thank you for having me on, Colton. I respect everybody who is here. Again, I respect everybody out there. We all want to live and let live to an extent. Some people want to live and let live a little bit more. It's always to an extent for me, to each their own. But like I said, this was a great conversation. I like having good conversations. I love talking to people that don't agree with majority of things I say. Like that's where I don't like talking to people that see the same way as me ever. Like if I'm talking to someone that it's a waste of conversation. I want to talk to people that are different from me. I want to learn. I want to understand the other side. And I want to potentially change my mind. You know, I'm open to anything.
Right on. Hey, man. Well, love you, brother. Thank you. I hope y'all learned something. I hope you laughed. And I hope you felt the love. Because even though Ryan and I was screaming at him about his Wi-Fi and all the other things, I love this guy. Give him the shirt off my back. That's my dog. Man, Melinda, I wish you were here to defend women, bro. Because Ryan is just, for him to be such a lover of women and such a girl dad, he's such a dickhead.
Man, I can't be. I'll be honest. I'll be the first to tell you, I can be a dick. I can be a dick.
Totally. But Ryan has the sweetest wife. She's so nice. Even though they are aligned on some conservative things, she does keep Ryan in check, especially when it comes to
let everybody know, I was a lot worse before this. I met my wife 6 years ago and made me 1,000 times better. So, yes. And then now I have a daughter. It just softened me up even more. So this is the soft side of Ryan.
Yes, the Lord is working on him, right?
Slowly but surely.
Softening his heart. And I'm gonna start sending that boy some scripture. Go and learn about Moses. You need to go
that
learn
murderer.
about Moses. And stop with the black people quotes, okay? Like, black people do violent crime. This is true. Black people do violent crime, but address the nuance. Like,
absolutely. There's nuance to everything. I just say, regardless of race, all across the board, every person in the entire world, regardless of nuance, figure it out.
Yeah,
no one's there. No one's coming to help you. So don't wait around.
With that, not disagreeing with that. You got to go and get your bread. But we don't use the word. We don't use the R word on this platform, Colton. It is not okay.
Yeah, I got yelled at for saying that last time. I did not say it this time.
We do not. We don't use the R word on this platform. That's not okay.
I still love you, Colton, even though you use terrible words. It broke my heart to hear that.
You can say stupid. I'm okay with that. But not
ignorant, silly,
ignorant. But it's all right. It's time to go. I
appreciate you. Much love, brother.
Do. I had to stop doing the music because I kept getting flagged.
I know, right?
Yeah, it pissed me off. But all right, I love y'all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go, Melinda. There we go. Yep. Yeah. All right, guys, it's time to go. Peace.
All love. Appreciate you, brother. Love you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is my big worm shirt. I'm working on dang it, Belinda got me. So this is my big worm shirt, y'all. I'm working on a t-shirt line. These are my prototypes. I got some stuff on the back, but I put white letters on it, so it's not ready yet. But when I'm ready to drop, you'll see. All right, it's really time to go.